What's going on, Commander family, man? It's your boy Ray's Hellzell back again with another video. And just 2 weeks into the 2025 regular season, and our most prized possession in Jayden Daniels is injured. He's injured with a sprained knee after facing one of the league's best defenses last Thursday in the Green Bay Packers. We are now left with an injured Jayden Daniels. Not to mention two starters are out for the season, man. Um, so let's get into it. First, let's get into it. Let's tackle the news of the day. The injury that was reported by Adam Schefter. Commanders QB Jayden Daniels has a knee injury that has his status for Sunday's game versus the Raiders in question, per league sources. The injury is not believed to be serious, but it remains uncertain whether Daniels will be able to play Sunday. Um, if you remember last year, he had a rib injury. And they came out, um, said he was day to day. We'll have to see come game day. He ended up playing against the Bears. He ended up playing every game the rest of the season. Now, that was a rib injury, and this is something different. This is a knee injury. So these are two different things. I'm not worried about this injury. I'm not. Um, I saw the injury. I saw him get up. I saw him limp around on the field. I saw him finish the game. Um, I'm honestly not worried about this injury. Now, if it was up to me, I'm sitting Daniels. I'm sitting JD5 for however long he needs to be sat until he is 110% to go out there and play. But honestly, and again, I'm not an expert. I don't have any inside sources. I'm just a fan speaking my mind of how I feel about this thing, right? I feel like uh I feel like he's going to play. I feel like he's going to play. I feel like this day-to-day thing is part of, Dan Quinn's scheme and this coaching staff scheme, and not to get the upper hand to the opponent. Again, I cannot reiterate enough. I wouldn't play him, bro. This is our franchise. This is our ticket to the Super Bowl. This is our best player, whatever you want to call him. You don't play with things like this. But for something in my brain, for something in my heart, I feel like they're gonna play this guy Sunday. And honestly, if they play him, that means that they don't think it's serious. That means he's okay, and I'm right with him. But if it was up to me, I would just sit him at least 1 week. At least 1 week. But I don't think they're gonna do that. I don't think they're gonna sit this guy, man. I think they're going to play him. I think he's going to do enough this week to meet all the marks, just like Dan Quinn always says. We're going to go through all the markers. We're going to take him through the gauntlet. We're going to make sure he's ready to go, and I think he's going to be ready to go against the Raiders. But they're not going to say that until they absolutely have to let them know. They're going to make the Raiders prepare for Marcus Mariota and Jayden Daniels. But it just sucks, bro. It sucks that 2 weeks in we're dealing with this from JD5. And if in case he isn't able to go, I have all the confidence in Marcus Mariota. When he came in last season to play for the Panthers, he looked good. He looked good. He was getting. I get granted, it was the Panthers defense, probably the worst defense of last season. He looked remarkable as a backup. Came in, our offense didn't miss a beat. We blew them boys out the water. But if he can't go, I think all eyes will be on Cliff, because if this is something more serious, if he misses multiple weeks, it's going to be really interesting to see how Cliff Kingsbury can get this team over the hump until JD5 gets back. It's going to be really interesting to see this scheme. It's going to be really interesting to see how Marcus Mariota looks in this system. Jayden Daniels and Marcus Mariota are two similar players in terms of play style, both second overall picks in their respective classes, both Heisman Trophy winners. And Cliff's scheme fits these guys perfectly. So I don't think this offense will miss a beat if Marcus Mariota has to come in. on the same token, I just don't think Jayden's injury is really that serious. They already said it's not a serious injury, but I don't think it's serious to the point where he's going to miss games. Again, let me reiterate. If he has a sprained ankle, I feel like he should sit at least 1 week anyways. We're playing the Raiders. Not to say the Raiders are bad, but I think we can beat them with Marcus Mariota and let Jayden sit, get an extra week of rest. At the end of the day, I'm with whatever this team decides to do. I got to give them the benefit of the doubt that they know what they're doing. They're around these players every day. They've been through this. They're professionals. They're experienced. They're expert at this. As fans, if he plays, let's not, you know what I'm saying? Let's slow our roll. Let's not attack the coaching staff so fast. Let's not, be so quick to hey, RG3 all over again. We playing nobody injured. Let's let it play out, man. Let's give this coach staff the benefit of the doubt. We were just 12-5 last season. Let's let them deal with the situation, how they're going to deal with it without attacking them. If he doesn't play, let's not start calling Jayden Daniels fragile. He may not be that injured. They may just be resting him for precautionary reasons, which would be the responsible thing to do. But let's slow our roll. I also wanted to touch on the injuries, man. Austin Eckler, torn Achilles. He has a torn Achilles injury. He's out for the season. That kind of hurts, man. That kind of sucks because Austin Eckler was our Swiss Army knife, and I just don't understand why Cliff Kingsbury left him in the game. As fans, he left us wondering, why is Austin Eckler in the game in garbage time? Why? Bro is 30-something years old. He's our starting running back. Granted, he probably wouldn't ended up being our starting running back by the end of the season, but why was he left in the game? He's our most versatile back. And he's 32 years old. Why was he in the game? Please answer I need somebody to answer this for me because it makes zero sense why he was left in the game. Makes zero sense. Dietrich Wise out with a hammy. Both of these guys' careers are most likely over as well. So that's the part that sucks. Not only do we lose two starters, two players who were playing well. Dietrich Wise was playing well off the edge for us, especially against the run. These guys' careers are most likely over. They're on the other side of 30. They're on their last year of their deal. We only brought Dietrich Wise in here for 1 year. Right? Austin Eckler was on the last year of his deal. They're most likely done, man. These guys are finished, most likely. And it's kind of crazy to say, but their careers is over. They have two season-ending injuries on the other side of 30, man. And it's kind of crazy that the Dietrich Wise one was unfortunate. The way it happened. I know he was injured before the game, and they were talking about sitting him and not sit. I wish they would have sitting him. They would have sat him, but obviously it's hindsight now. If they would have known what they know now, it would have been different. But that situation, knowing that Dietrich Wise was injured and they still chose to play him on top of Austin Eckler playing late in a game that was already done, it doesn't really look good on how this coaching staff has handled hurt players this season so far. I hope Jayden Daniels' injury is not serious, but they still end up playing him. I hope that's not the case. Because I feel like, again, we could beat the Raiders with Marcus Mariota. We do not need to play Jayden Daniels this week if he's hurt, if he's injured. Now, they said he's injured. So injury is different from being hurt. Something is going on with his knee. If he's injured now, they listed him as day-to-day, I wouldn't play with it, man. I wouldn't play with it. However long he needs to get well, man, let that guy get well. But we here, man. We here. I think it's worth noting that when JJ McCarthy and Joe Burrow were ruled out, when they got their injuries, the next day, today, JJ McCarthy was pretty much ruled out for next week. Joe Burrow the next day was pretty much ruled out for next week. But Jayden Daniels with his injury is that day to day. I think that is some good news regarding his injury. Now they have different injuries. I do understand that Joe Burrow has the turf toe situation and JJ McCarthy's injury. Can't really remember what his injury was, but those teams decided to let the world know the status of their injury and if they would play next week almost immediately. Us, on the other hand, we like to play the game of keep our competitive edge, and we're not going to tell anyone what we're going to do with our starting quarterback until we absolutely have to. Um, I feel like if they planned on sitting him 100%, I feel like they would have came out and said that. But we'll see as the week goes on, um, what they decide to ultimately do. But again, I think he plays, and I'm not saying that's what they should do because I would sit JD5 this weekend, but something in my gut tells me that he's going to be out there on the field um, at home versus the Raiders this weekend. I listened to Dan Quinn's press conference today, and he mentioned Noah Brown, Jonathan Jones, John Bates, and along with JD5 as injured players this week. And it's kind of crazy. It sucks that Noah Brown continues to be on the injury report. But I can't say we didn't see this coming because he's always injured. He's been injured throughout his whole career. He's never played a full 16, 17 game season in his career. So it definitely makes sense why he's out at this time. But it sucks, man. It sucked that he dropped those two passes. Those two catches that JD5 gave him. I mean, granted, one of them was very hard, but they go through your hands. You got to catch it. I think Noah Brown would be the first one to tell you that those are catches he has to make. John Bates, I feel like it's the biggest one. I hope he's ready to go this weekend because he is our best blocking tight end. Of course, he's probably the best blocking tight end in the league, but we do so many things with him on the field. And we need him. We need this guy to have our run game moving as smoothly as we needed it to move. And it showed against the Packers when he was unable to go the rest of that game. Cliff Kingsbury, it seemed like he was just unable to call any more run plays without him on the field. We just did not run the ball without him on the field any longer. And it shows. So hopefully John Bates can keep it going, get everything back into flow. But to wrap everything up though, man, I don't obviously they already said it's not a serious injury. I don't think it's going to be. I think he plays. Ultimately, I think this is something that he ends up playing. But again, let me reiterate: I don't think if it was up to me, I'm not playing JD5. But I think he's going to play. I think they doing that whole competitive advantage thing. Let's list them as day to day. Let's make the Raiders have to scheme for JD5 and Marcus Mariota at the same time. So it's going to be interesting to see how this week unfolds, but I'm not worried about Jayden Daniels' injury at all. And I honestly think he plays, man. But it sucks though that we are 2 weeks into the season and we are dealing with some serious injuries already. They talk about us as being the oldest team in the league, and that's starting to show, right? That is something that is starting to show. And we ain't beating them allegations. We are not beating them allegations, man. One thing I want to talk about, bro. I'm gonna watch the Raiders game tonight. I'm gonna watch the Raiders versus the Chargers game tonight. I know it's gonna be a good game, but I'm gonna be paying close attention to Brock Bowers because I don't think we have a player on this roster that not only can guard Brock Bowers, because I don't think anybody in the league can really guard Brock Bowers, but I don't know who we put on Brock Bowers. I don't want to see Bobby Wagner on Brock Bowers. I do not want to see Bobby Wagner's old ass running up the field with Brock Bowers. I do not want to see that at all. So if we got to put Jordan McGee out there, we got to figure that shit out ASAP. Kane Madrano, maybe he makes his debut this Sunday. Maybe we put All Pro Revo on him. Somebody has to be able to watch him, because they're gonna hit him and target him over and over and over again, if he's healthy, of course, because I know he's dealing with his injuries this Sunday. So I'm gonna be watching tonight to see how they utilize him, see what we and cross-reference that with the way we use our defense. But Joe Witt is gonna have his hands full this week and scheming against Brock Bowers, and also Cliff Kingsbury. He's gonna have his hands full as well, especially if JD5 cannot go. But that's all I got for y'all, man. Again, I think JD5 plays this weekend. I think he suits up. I think it's a daytime. I think right before the game they announced that he will start. But again, if it was up to me, I would not play JD5. I would sit him for at least a week and play Marcus Mariota, because I don't think we need JD5 to beat the Raiders. I think Marcus Mariota can come in and do an admirable job within this Cliffs offense and be fine. But that's just me. It's a gut feeling that says Dan Quinn and this coaching staff is going to do what they always do. They're going to play that competitive advantage game, not tell anyone if JD5 is going to be playing until they absolutely have to. And he's going to be playing this Sunday. And, they already came out and said it's not serious, so I'm not too worried myself about the injury. But it does suck that we are week 2 and he's already nursing a knee sprain. But that's all I got for y'all, man. If y'all are tuning in, please, please, please like, subscribe, comment. Let me know what y'all think. Does JD5 play? Let me know down in the comments, man. Do you think he should play? Those are two separate questions, by the way. Does he play, and do you think he should play? What would you do if you were the GM of the Washington Commanders? And let me know y'all predictions for the game too. I know it's early. I know it's only Monday, but do y'all think we need Jayden to beat the Raiders? Or y'all chalking this as already a dub with Marcus, or a loss without Jayden? But yeah, man, let me know down in the comments. Turn on that notification bell. I appreciate everybody who tuned into the video, man. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all day. Peace out.